so it rotates in that way, so that, regular cycles, the state requires us to do it annually.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't need to put in something.
So I think that's why we wanted to keep it simple.
Well, yeah.
In there, they require us to do some regular cycles. That's part of it.
I want to make sure.
Hi.
Hi, Sandy.
You're right on time. You're right on time. I have to start without Ryan.
Sure. Yeah, Ryan didn't know if he'd make it.
Yeah.
He's baling hay, so.
He's hoping to hear us.
Since it's 6:30, we'll go ahead and get started.
Yeah, and I know
If
I know John will be right back, just
Okay.
make sure there wasn't someone waiting at a different
now
address.
we'll wait for a few minutes.
And I expected Diane to be here as well, but okay. Maybe we'll start with maybe just 1 minute and. And I think there aren't any new board members on either side since
The last time
we met. Is that possible?
That's usually not the case, but yeah. We did it.
We did.
If the sun is bothering anybody, we can drop shades at any time.
Yeah. Especially those of you on the back row. It can sometimes like start to cook your neck a little.
Well, we're probably gonna need them dropped before.
Yeah, I'll do it now, just because.
Thank you, Joe. Now I got sunburned this week on 2 separate days in 2 separate parts. Even though I was under a tent and wearing sunscreen. Sometimes one little tiny streak. Oh, yeah, mine was nothing compared to that.
Oh, yeah, and my legs are even worse.
I was just gonna say, one little tiny streak where you could see I had like gone in between the sprays of the sunscreen. And then I completely forgot to say.
Yeah, we only have half, so let me know.
So all
Well,
day,
seconds.
so Tuesday was my face, and then yesterday was like one straight day, and then like one straight.
You did pretty good.
I've been, these work activities, good shit.
Oh, I know, I was over there crying.
Is that okay, Aaron? That's it.
Yeah.
We're not clear now.
Yes, we have next Joe.
District traffic. How the desert seems so different. I mean, I didn't realize it was.
Yeah. But Tuesdays was.
What's that?
Do you enjoy Chipotle?
Enjoy it.
Chipotle?
That's the first time we ever met her, so I,
Right?
yeah, I had no idea what to expect. So we'll be back.
I had Baja Fresh this weekend up in Portland, that was really good, and I came up one here in Corvallis, it's closed.
It has been for like 6
closest-
years.
Oh, well, whatever, I've never gone to it, so,
It's Five Guys now.
I've never been to Five Guys, so.
Oh. I recommend their french
Firefighters are
fries.
expensive.
But their french fries?
I know, I've been there.
Get 20 to 30 pounds of fries when you order a large. Like, I don't understand how it makes sense.
Do you guys want to go ahead and start?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start. I do expect
Okay.
to really just ran down the street.
All right, well, we'll just go ahead and call this to order then. I don't know what we want to do.
You have an agenda right there.
Yeah, that is, yeah, sort of, yeah.
Okay, introductions. Okay, well, I'll start. Rick Wells, board chair.
Joe Daly, vice chair.
Erin Cobb, board member to employment.
Sandy Herring, school board.
Oh, yeah, we skipped over.
Sorry, Susan Halliday, superintendent.
I'm Sally Members, I'm board chair.
Diana Marnhart, I'm the treasurer.
I'm Brenda North, I'm a board member.
And Ben Poinaki, KVCS board secretary.
Well, this is in updates, so I don't know exactly any updates.
No, I don't, yeah, I know we didn't.
How are things going out there? We'll just start like that and see where it goes.
Going well.
Yes,
Yeah, okay, I should ask, I gotta get permission.
Okay.
Going well, we're headed down the finish line. Graduation this year is coming up in very, very short order. And this year we have all the 3 students graduating. We have 1 child completing their GED and will walk with their classmates. Next year's juniors class, we have about 13 kids in it, so this class as seniors is kind of the residual of COVID and a lot of shifts and change from COVID. So our junior class has 13, sophomores are at 15, and freshmen at 15, so we have a nice group of kids moving forward. So that's everybody's counting down the days for that. What else is going on? Field trips, we've got some field trips happening throughout the elementary, middle school, high school. And some really terrific partnerships with STEM. Again, had some really nice partnerships. We're super excited that we're expanding that and having an opportunity for all students to have a STEM experience. And that's through partnership with Linda and Community College at Chris Singer. I'm sure many of you guys have met Chris. So fantastic opportunity.
What Chris came to share with the board last month about all the projects, but especially STEAM for the Win, has been Fulham High School and King Valley in terms of the special ed kids all involved in that project. And so at the presentation last week, I think it was, there, Kings Valley was well represented with parents saying to the students, I am not guiding anyone through these activities, you are, because you know. And so the students were set up and ready, so it was pretty cool.
It's fantastic, and I just really can't thank Linda and the STEM partnership to provide these wonderful things and experiences. So we're excited about that. Spring performance is Monday. That is one of our annual amounts. Sit on the grounds, listen to some music, have some hot dogs. So we're super excited about that.
What time is it?
The music will start at 6. Yep. The culinary arts children and the juniors are providing a meal, so if you need one, so they're not. Let's start earlier. Yeah. Yeah, academic presentation night, science fair night is coming up May 29th. This is a really beautiful experience for all of our students. All 198 have some form of presentation. Our elementary students have been doing their science fair, and they will be presenting that also during the day, and ribbons will be given, but then in that evening they'll be able to present it to their families. Freshmen and sophomores will be doing their academic presentation. Those are on careers. They've been researching careers through the use of e-science. High school also uses e-science, so we're researching careers through that. Juniors do something called Junior Review, which is a culmination of all their experiences in high school. And then our seniors are presenting their internship. Internship is a key piece of the senior year to where they are required to find an internship with a career they're interested in for 60 hours, minimum 60 hours, and then do a presentation to us. So that is our seniors will be presenting also.
How's the new building coming?
The new building, it is going to be absolutely exquisite. We received an absolutely beautiful donation from Old Family. And that structure will be complete within a very short order. And have a grand opening for you to see. I did submit our program study for natural resources. That was a big undertaking that was submitted actually this morning at 5:30. And so I'm super excited to be able to have a natural resources program study. And a land lab. And then that'll translate to a K-12 experience for all students, not just high school.
Also heard through the grapevine, promise this weekend.
Pardon?
Your prom
Oh,
is this
sorry,
weekend?
there was, I think that was John. Yes, the motorcycle behind me.
Yeah.
He's announcing himself. Yes, prom is this weekend. I don't have a superintendent, so that kind of slips my mind. But yes, prom is this weekend, and we are collaborating with Ball City to give the kids a larger prom experience. Ball City is our partner for a lot of sports and other social experiences throughout the year.
But you're having it down at Scott's Barn, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is what I've heard. I've seen a lot of
Yeah.
decorations, saw some beautiful dresses and whatnot.
He
So,
was
yeah.
looking for some rock today.
Yeah,
That's the only reason I know where it's gonna be and when is because he was looking for some rock and I told him, I can move some rock for you. And he said, well, I already got a guy in conversation, but, so the other guy put the rock down there, but he says, I'll keep you in mind next time. So,
right. I figured you were very well versed in being on most this
yeah,
weekend.
well, I'm not on Facebook during the day, I'm driving. And I got a message from the wife, hey, you need to contact him, he's looking for somebody to deliver rock.
Right. Yeah, the kids are really excited to begin Boston's partnership is a really unique thing.
Well, that's a wonderful location for it.
Yeah, so that our small kids get to have that experience. We did, one of the last really things that we were really excited about, our student council went to Seaside recently. And, yes.
That's very nice.
Experience, and met a lot of other kids, in student council, Nancy, and they actually came back with an award. So they were all super excited about that, and they had a really terrific time. So that's down in a nutshell. Students survived state testing, that is something else that was finished this week, so no students fainted or and AP testing also. That was,
Yeah, that finished too.
Yeah.
This
that
week or
finished.
last week?
Last Friday, so last Friday we were done with AP testing.
This is classroom related, but one of the big projects we've got going here is 16th Street. And I see they opened it up down there now. I don't know what day they opened it
I
up,
don't know,
but
I have no idea.
I seen their service truck going down there. It's like, oh, okay, I'll go down there and see what's going on. And it's opened up, so they're starting to work on that. So that's going to be exciting to get that for the district done to help with the traffic flow and everything. So that's kind of one of our big projects this summer.
Very much so. Is there any other questions that you have about anything that I missed, any highlights you'd like to hear, or anything else beyond that?
I don't know anybody.
And I just make myself a nuisance every now and then, so.
That I would disagree with, Susan. I would absolutely dispute the fact that you're making yourself a nuisance. So I.
Well, I'll continue to do so.
Please, absolutely.
Nobody's got anything else? You got anything you want to share about the district? What we're doing here?
Well, excuse me, I know there was conversation about Kings Valley lining up start times next year with the Fulham School District. And that would be nice if we could partner on some different things with the timing to make sure that if in-service is at the same time and there are some things that we can share, it'll be nice to be able to do that, because I think last year when we had our in-service time, we were already in school with students. And so, which was fine, but there's less of an opportunity to be able to share resource or anything like that that we may want to do in the first of the year.
We did do that. We have a tentative calendar, and we're just doing the final, the board saw it last board meeting, and we're doing the final calculations to make sure that all the minutes are correct, and we did align our calendar very closely to one that you guys had tentatively on your website.
Yep.
And
Yeah, Fina told me about that, so I was pleased.
yes, and we even changed our start time a little bit in the day. And then on Fridays, we're out at 1, and they're out at 12:30.
depending upon the school, yeah.
Yeah, so we are at 1 o'clock acknowledging the fact that it's that 1 year professional development days, and so that your employees would be able to join, and or ours potentially would be able to join.
Yeah.
During that time frame. Our other holidays are very, very similar to yours. Yeah, and really, really that is understanding the sharing on sped employees and not wanting to leave one or any conflict, but with those employees.
When is your graduation?
Same day as Fulham High School.
Same, okay.
Yes.
Just later in the afternoon like
It
it
is
was
later.
before?
It is later in
At
the
2,
afternoon.
okay.
Well, congratulations to all the
I
graduates.
just have to write it down so I can dance from one to the other.
That's right, I won't be able to do that, I will be very busy with my own graduate,
I think one of the other things that's been beneficial is our leadership group of principals has been in a second year of working with the Center for Educational Leadership out of Washington. And Athena, principal, has been very connected with that, with us, in terms of being able to really make some systems headway. And it's really taken hold in terms of the principals of different schools, inclusive of Kings Valley, really owning decisions and movement in an aligned way, but I felt the shift of we're not looking at one person to be able to say this is the direction we will go. That it's kind of given cushions on the side that then allow for some individual movement within those cushions that makes sense for a school and provide some power along the way. It's been really healthy to be able to participate in that. It's been nice to see how everyone, inclusive of Athena's involvement from Kings Valley, have really taken hold of that and run with it.
And I thank you for including her, and I sat in with you clear back in February and had a very difficult conversation about cell phone and device usage. And so it's been very, she reports your guys' conversation and your strategies for dealing with topics. And it is, like I said, my own personal experience to think about our own device usage policy and what we're experiencing, and to understand that even in our little area, we have a similar issue and how to holistically address it. So yeah, she has found that experience highly valuable, and I have variously from that.
Been great.
Susan, what was the name you gave out?
The Center for Educational Leadership, and it's out of the University of Washington.
Great.
And they came and did some large-scale workshops more last year, and visitations took place across different school sites. And this year has been more focused on some of the larger group learning sessions, but also any of the smaller group times have been focused in our own specific district. And that has been highly beneficial and very much valued this year. It's nice to be able to see what others do in other districts and other places, but it was really like, if we're going to get into the meat of this, we really want to get into the meat of it, what it means for our own district, and really being able to coalesce together and being provided the time to do it. So we've had a fair amount of work time. The instruction's been delivered in bite-sized pieces where they'll talk at us for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then it's, what does it mean, interpret, play, build, go, and kind of meeting us all where we're at in each of the different sessions. So it's just been a really positive experience.
Great. The highlights coming from the moment, performances.
Oh, the calendar of performances like everywhere.
You all laugh.
Crazy.
Well, there was a band concert last night.
Yeah, the middle school band concert was last night, so this is where I start hefting up the calendar of what all the evening commitments are and who's doing what when, and we recognized that the middle school music concert was listed on 2 different days on the calendar, and I was ready to go to the wrong one, so I would have shown up to an empty space, which wouldn't have been a whole lot of fun, but yeah, it's all the culminating activities, and it's interesting to be able to see. It's kind of like Memorial Day is that linchpin weekend. If we can get to there, then it's kind of that we think we can make it the rest of the way. And it's just, it is with everybody. It's just been a fast year.
Did you want to mention the Blodgett fundraiser?
Yeah, Block is having their fundraiser Saturday. Doors open at 5:30, dinners at 6. Auction starts at 7, and they're going to have some silent auction items this year. That's a first for that. Everything's always been live auction before, but they're branching out. It used to be just a dessert auction. Now they've got a lot of other stuff coming in, gift baskets from different places. I know there's a ton of pellets coming in, so there's quite a few different things, plus all the desserts that they normally have.
I say desserts usually bring in the night.
But if you want a banana,
Bring in some
if you want a banana cream pie, you better bring a big chip.
Okay.
Because that's usually one of the biggest sellers out there is a banana cream pie. So.
Made by a certain someone.
And it's good.
Made by a certain someone.
Yeah, and it's not me.
It's kind of like in our auction tends to be parking space out front. It's for hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Where in the high school, did they auction off parking spots for like the football season and things like that a while ago?
I don't know.
Where's the guy? There's the guy.
Haven't done that yet.
I think the
Great idea.
The Booster Club did that one year, but it would have been 10 years ago, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty coveted
Yeah.
spot, you know, there's not a whole lot of parking out there.
Yeah, that's a great name to do.
It's there, so yeah.
But yeah, you guys are all invited to that Saturday evening, so. And it's a lot of fun. It's just the community members getting together, and it's a taco dinner. It's not the old diamond dip that used to be. The county has said that they can't do that anymore because of the food regulations, but they do have a really, last year was the first year that he did the taco bar, and it was really good, so.
I do have to give you guys high kudos. I went to the forestry competition in Jervis a few weeks ago, and Simon and his crew were there, and it's a high kudos to them and forestry. It's fantastic watching them participate, and I had to laugh at the was real. They ended up with not in their hose, and their water was not. So that made me chuckle. But it's you guys get the opportunity to go watch Simon and his kids. It's very cool.
Very nice. So other than that, I don't think there's anything. Nothing negative.
Yeah, and the only other thing that I thought of that I know is different to play with in a charter school, just because of the nature of resident, non-resident, and all those kinds of things. I think this is the first time, probably ever, in Corona, that we put a stop on inter-district transfers. A couple of months ago. And we did that with a little fear and trepidation. But also knowing that we needed to just kind of get our arms around who do we have, who's coming to us from another district, who is moving into the district and needing to go to school here. If we take too many students from the outside, are we at risk if we don't pay attention to maybe students who have been in the toddler age bracket and are moving into our schools. And we want to be able to serve all of them. I mean, we will, but it's kind of like, at what point we have to know enough about where students are coming from to be able to look at the potential tipping point. And so we're walking with that into next year in terms of we've established limits by grade level and by school to say we will accept X number of inter-district transfer students, and that can change at any vote of the school board, excuse me, to be able to add or halt wherever we are. And so it'll be a walk for a year to be able to see how things go and what happens and what we decide and how often or not changes get made. But we just felt like there was a need to get a better handle on where we were and what we're looking at. You know, because we've seen birth rates and stuff go down, which is one of the reasons that we had lessened our enrollment totals. And where most of the schools in the state, the school districts in the state have lost enrollment, we've picked up. And we're a positive gain. And so it's really listening for why is that, how is that, and I mean, it's great. But just wanting to make sure that we're staying on top of what's happening. So stay tuned, because it's
Yeah, you know, it's an interesting, just in any business, but definitely in schools, you know, the numbers are tied to enrollment and numbers are tied to class size, and then you need the resources to address it. And, you know, of course, we do have different rules and things that we can do at the charter school. And what we can't do, we've got our cap, and then we've got, we can't limit where people come from.
Right.
We're not given that option.
yeah. If you have an opening at a grade level, you take them.
Yeah, and then if there's too many lotteries, so, you know, we definitely operate under a different thing, but it's still, you know, I do remember, I don't think it has been a decade, like how long ago did they actually open up to where you could transfer in between districts? You know,
It's been for
it's been a while.
a long time.
Yeah, it's been
that
several.
there's been the ability to do that.
Yeah, and so, yeah, that's, I feel for you, because it is an interesting equation to have to balance, but, yeah, sounds like a lot of thought has gone into it. Like you said, at least just stopping for a moment, limiting for a minute, just to try to figure out what you have. You know, with all the new housing in town and everything, it would just really be interesting to see what demographic that brings in and how that impacts schools, so.
Yeah, and we thought we would get that. We thought we would get that boom in student enrollment at the time those houses were built, and
That's not who we did.
we didn't. We just didn't.
Yep.
And you know, kept watching for it and waiting and to see. But it was, you know, if we're gaining enrollment, we want to know where it's coming from. We opened up a 5th kindergarten this past year because of numbers. And it's kind of like, are those our numbers? Are those inter-district transfer numbers? You know, what are they? And what are the reasons that those things are happening? So that we don't even we want to keep students and serve them. What we don't want to do is to be able to get behind a trend, if it were to happen, of a lot of inter-district transfers coming to us. Then when we have our own kids who we need to serve anyway, it jumps us up. And so it's you know, what are the pros and cons about that? So it'll be interesting to just watch.
And then I actually did have a question, because charter schools have certain laws that they have to follow and certain ones that don't apply to them. And I was wondering with these legislative updates that we get, because we subscribe to OSBA's Policy Plus, where they help us make sure that we're following all those rules. But I don't know if you have a service like that comes to you and says, hey, public meeting law has changed. You have to record and post all of your school board meetings in a way where people can access them, not just your minutes, but like an actual recording. And do you have a service through OSBA or otherwise that does that for you?
Well, we're part of OSBA ourselves, and I just read posting from OSBA today.
And Mark spends a lot of time also interfacing with those VA and different ways to remain abreast of different changes and different environments. But as far as having, someone come to us, that's not, Mark is in conversation.
I just wanted to make sure, because like, if we were having to keep track of all of that on our own, it would be difficult to do. So I'm glad that you do get those legislative updates and things like that.
Yeah, and that's pretty difficult.
The other thing that's written into the charter is if the charter has a policy, that policy is followed by default. If the charter doesn't have a particular policy, it goes to the district's policy.
Yes, but
But knowing that, being able to know the
public
policy.
meeting law
Yeah.
in our policy, there are just laws that we have to follow. I don't know that we necessarily write a policy around the laws, so. Public
think we
meeting law
just say
is
we will
always
follow-
top of my mind.
We will
'cause I'm always
follow
like,
public meetings law, I think is what it's.
yeah, probably. Okay, that's enough of the answer for me, thank you.
Yeah, this year, even we have continued to have our meetings live and have web, so people at home can participate. So that's been one of the post-COVID services, I guess, or new processes for continuation.
Fantastic, thank you.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, since we got another meeting coming up, we'll go ahead and adjourn this one.
Y'all can get on at it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for coming in, appreciate it, good to see you guys again.
You're welcome to stay for our meeting.